Hey guys, what's up? And Norway! Hey! No, he's just passing through. Okay, all right, he's here.
Oh, you're looking for one.
Hey, how you Casey Frank, what are you doing out there? Good to see you all here. Thanks a lot. Told the site to be here today.
There he goes. I'll put on the floor.
Give him the chance. Some people back there are like, that's not Casey David Frank at all.
Welcome to the Steve and Johnny and Skull Show, aka the Mighty Morphin Q&A channel. Oh, you missing some Mighty Morphin? Oh, we're missing Paul Schreier, but you guys having fun? Yeah, good.
And we got the scurvy yet? Oh no, it's rickets. The sun doesn't come out, so they won't probably have rickets. All right. Go ahead, who's enjoying the rickets today? Yeah. All right, try the scurvy before you leave. It's wonderful. Put that orange down.
Well, this is a Q&A, so you guys provide the cues. Yes.
We do the A.
Yes. Just the A.
Just the A.
Yeah. So does anybody have any questions to start us off?
I thought I saw someone raise their hand.
That guy right there.
Hi Johnny, just got a question for you. If you had to choose between the two, would you choose either the Spirit of the Frog or the minivan?
Oh, frog. The minivan is not nearly as cool. The minivan is the worst.
Oh, the minivan.
I know. The second movie, I wanted to be upset about it. Also, I went to Shuki and I was like, hey Shuki, can I be upset about getting a minivan like I was about getting a frog? I was like, I could be like, I got a minivan? First a frog, I don't even have a family.
Shuki didn't want it?
And I said, no, you are not funny.
No, you are not funny.
Because, sorry to remind you of this, but your hair had grown out at that point. And we used to make jokes that you look like Peter Brady.
Yes.
And they gave you a Peter Brady mobile, basically.
Yeah.
So he was Peter Brady in that movie. None of you people know who Peter Brady is, do
You
you?
guys have Brady Bunch here?
Yeah. Right, I remember like there was this thing that somebody put up on Instagram, and it had the blue Zeo helmet, and it said, "My spirit animal is a triangle." I was like, I gotta repost that. That's pretty funny. So my spirit is a triangle.
There's a question way back there. Oh, you're passing it on? Oh, gotcha, okay. Do what you're doing then.
Out of all the monsters you faced, was there any on set that you just went, that's just ridiculous?
Shuki. I mean, he just said.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's an inside joke.
Okay.
The Shuki monster.
Any monsters that were ridiculous? Yeah, I mean, a lot of them were.
How about the giant pachinko head?
My favorite line ever. Steve, could you give it to us?
It was David Yoslab. He's like, oh my gosh, it's a giant pachinko head. Oh man, it's a giant pachinko head.
Oh my God. Dumbest monster ever.
That was one of them. There were some other ones too.
What was one of the other tough ones?
The faucet monster in Zeo.
The faucet monster?
The faucet monster.
He had a runny nose.
There was a football monster who was like a centipede and a football player. You know, who had not when I say football, I mean American football. I don't mean soccer. So they had like a helmet. It had like a helmet on its head, and it wore like shoulder pads, and yeah, that was another one. I don't know. There was one that looked like a microphone.
I think that was
stuff
my favorite. It's made fun of
Okay,
this
this question for
Sorry.
Happy about that.
So this question's for all of you. Have you ever read any weird or funny Power Ranger fan fiction?
Would you care to tell us about it?
I did once, and that was it. Never again.
I have a hard time reading that as a fan. I wrote you this great script.
Well, I mean, it started off really cool. It was like Adam and then like Kimberly were like hanging out a lot. And then it got really weird and creepy.
Well, And from what I understand, there's actually a couple about Vulcan Skull as lovers, actually. That's the truth, that's the truth. So, keep on rocking with yourselves. Actually, you know what though? I do feel like several cast members had done like little gag scripts here and there that were pretty funny. Have you ever read any of those? Oh, okay. There's some really ones that I probably shouldn't mention in public, but I'll tell you about later. They're pretty, yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Didn't Paul write an episode or two?
No.
Oh, he just
Directed
directed.
it.
He directed it, yeah. I know Paul directed them. I remember that.
Yeah.
Those were actually like the best ones episodes. They were the most fun too to work on.
Wait, did he direct any while you were? I thought he directed the ones that had the little kids.
No, he directed ones we were on too.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Now I do remember. Okay, cool. There you go. That answers your fan fiction question. Paul directed an episode.
This is to all of you. Did you guys actually jump in the film? Did you do the skydiving? And if you didn't, would you have wanted to? No. Oh, did we jump out of the plane? We jumped out of a prop plane, but it was like what, like 20 feet high maybe.
Yeah, it was
49. Yeah. It wasn't that. No.
And it was an all-night shoot. Remember that?
Yeah, they needed to rig us up because we had to do the flying, but we were wired. And we also had to do the landing. You remember that?
Yeah,
They
I
pulled us up
remember
about
we did,
60 feet and let us come in for a landing.
Yeah, so whenever you saw us landing on the little target in the grass or whatever, that we were actually up on this big, huge crane that had us, wired up, and then it would just kind of like at a diagonal, slow rate descend us down onto the target. But we didn't do any of the skydiving, but I ended up doing skydiving later on, actually. The first time I went skydiving was last year in May in Puerto Rico with Jason Frank. We were doing Puerto Rico Comic-Con, and he took me skydiving, and we filmed it for My Morphin Life. So when you see season 2 My Morphin Life, I'm going to be in there, and the whole thing where I'm skydiving for the first time out of the plane, and I'm strapped to this guy's chest, and he's like throwing me out of the plane, and he's got this GoPro on his wrist, and he's like filming me like freaking out the whole time all the way down. So you guys enjoy that. It'll be fun.
Hi, this is a question for Johnny. What songs are your favourite to play with when I shine?
Oh, yes, what? Sorry, what songs are we now what?
What are your favourite songs to perform with when you're playing with I Shine?
Oh man, we got a new album coming out.
Play it.
I'll play a little bit of one song that I really like to play.
Got a little nod to some 41 kind of feel there.
So I like playing that one. We got a few of them on this new album that I really dig. But yeah, that's one of my favorites right now. It's called Paper Hearts. It's new album's probably gonna come out late March, early April.
Congratulations. I do not have a new album coming out. Sorry.
Not yet!
Not yet, yeah.
Oh, that'd be great to do a spoken word album of all I Shine hits. This is our whole life.
Oh yeah, like William Shatner did, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I packed my bags last night. Briefly. 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a kite by then.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a question for Johnny. When you came back as Adam in Operation Overdrive, had you not come back with this while you did, who else would you have liked to team up with?
If I didn't come back with the other retro, who else would I want? I'd want a lot of like, I would like my crew from Mighty Morphin, you know? Or from Zeo, either, you know? Any of those. I think that would have just been kind of cool to have us come back as Mighty Morphin, you know? That would have been sweet.
Have they ever done that where they brought the whole Mighty Morphin crew back?
No, wouldn't that be crazy if they brought our team back? Like our team? That would be insane. Hey, you know what? You guys put the word out there, all right?
Yeah, put it out.
Just start, you know, start this giant campaign to revisit Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You know, and just like,
We'll start with the Lionsgate cameo, that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll start with that.
Start with that.
That looks a lot like what we did.
The second half of Dino Charge.
But we should be like really old.
We are really old.
It won't take much.
That's what I meant.
For a little gray hair.
That would be kind of interesting, actually.
Back there.
What is your favourite Ranger romance across the entire series? And if you could have had a romance written with any of the cast, who would you choose?
Bulk and Skull.
Definitely.
Talk about power, huh? Woo! 50 Shades of Bulk and Skull.
All right, so you know what? You guys go ahead and put the word out. Make that happen.
50 Shades of Nope.
Yes.
If you guys were contacted by S.P.D to come back in Dino Charge, would you?
To come back?
Yeah, Dino Charge, the newest dinosaur series.
Possibly.
Yeah, I would definitely do it.
Yeah,
For sure, yeah.
I mean, is there a romance involved in this one for me? That, you know, right there. I got like 50 ideas too.
50? I just got it, right? I just got it.
Next! Now I'm going to puberty.
Specifically for Steve, you're a martial artist at heart. Power Rangers got me involved with doing karate, style of Wadaroo. I got to brown belt and then gave up and started doing soccer, which...
Never too late to go back, man.
I know, but with soccer I got to move to LA, and my point was I was going to come down to one of your like events in one of your dojos, but I never got the opportunity. Just tell us more about your specific style. It's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right?
Yeah. So you wanted to know more about it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us more about it.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is different from like other styles of karate because when you think about like conventional martial arts, you think about jumping, flying, kicking, punches, you know, things like that, fighting multiple opponents, and Jiu-Jitsu is a little different. It's more of like a one-on-one style where, you know, it's all wrestling. You know, if you were to watch like, you know, judo in the Olympics and like college wrestling, that's kind of what you kind of see when you see Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It kind of went to the layperson. It looks sort of like judo and wrestling mixed together. So there's no kicks, there's no punches, there's no strikes. It's all just takedowns, throws, chokeholds, arm locks. Make the person submit by, you know, trying to rip their arm out of their socket rather than like punching them in the face. It's a little different. But very effective though, very street practical too, because, you know, every fight usually kind of ends up on the ground if you're out in the street. So if you know how to defend yourself from your back, you can kind of come out ahead. So.
Hi. I'm sure you've probably been asked this loads of times already, but what happened to get invited to the Megaforce 20-year thing?
I got an email that had a bunch of Rangers emails in it, actually. Like they mass emailed a bunch of us. And it was like just reaching out to get your contact to see if you're interested in coming back for the mega battle or whatever. And then they had also like if you can reach out to these people and let them know as well. And so I just wrote back, I was like, it sounds interesting, yeah, just send me some details. And then that's all I heard.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just couldn't get out to New Zealand at the time they were filming it. So I would have liked to have been a part of it, but hopefully they'll have me back soon, eventually. Because I've never done any reunion episodes of any kind. Yeah, I missed Forever Red, missed Megaforce, missed whatever. I never been back yet.
Yeah, I told him no, and after I said no, they went out and got 20 Rangers, because you need 20 of them, you know. So, you know.
But they went and got your kid.
Yeah, don't ask where he came from. Don't ask.
I feel like that's a bad fan fiction waiting to happen.
Yeah, no, that's a good fan fiction waiting to happen, you know. I never had Scott look at me in such a way.
Hi guys, mine's kind of a two-part question. When you, I'm not gonna get that.
Oh, there we are. Yeah, please tell me what's up.
Steve, when you left the series at the beginning of the Turbo series in the movie, how much of that was your decision and how much it was kind of forced upon you? And then similar, Johnny, for the rest of you guys leaving in the middle of Turbo, how much of it was your decision and so on?
Well, the time that I left was my decision, but how I was written out was none of my choice. So they just, that's the way they chose to wrote me out, was that I had fallen out of the ring and smashed my back up, and then Justin was hiding under the bed and found out who I was because the other Rangers came to
Wait,
tell
whoa, go back. What? Justin was under your bed?
The hospital bed. He was hiding because he was concerned about me. So
I was concerned about you for a minute there.
Yeah, sorry. I guess if you don't know the movie, it could have come out wrong. So that I don't know. You threw me off now, but I don't know. Yeah, Justin was under the bed, and he heard us talking about Power Rangers, and he was like, "Oh, so you guys are the Power Rangers?" And so once the secret was out, they had to make him the Blue Ranger.
Or they could have killed him.
Yeah, they could have done that. They could have done that.
For Turbo, we found I was getting my makeup done before like a day of shooting or whatever, and one of the makeup artists actually walked up with a newspaper article and showed us a clipping that was like, "Looking for new Rangers," and I was like, "Whoa, what?"
Oh my God! So it's like, okay, so you're losing your job today, huh?
No, like that's how we found out. It's like, whoa, they're recasting us already?
Wow.
And so they didn't say anything.
That's like finding a personal ad, you know, from your wife, you know. She's like, seeking a life partner, Amy Bosch. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, so I mean, we saw that and we went out and talked to them and they're like, yeah, we're recasting you. And we're like, oh, okay. Then we want out now. And so they wrote us out in the middle of Turbo.
Wow. You know what though? I'm not shocked at all.
I am not shocked.
Wow. Wow. You learn something new every day.
And yet we still buy the toys.
And we still.
Yo, over there.
Did you take anything from the set?
No.
No, what?
No.
What are you talking about?
No, my lawyer, okay, I'm
There's
going to
some
my lawyer.
Salon representatives here, right? No, we did not.
We might have
I
some.
kept I kept the boots from when we did the hands and feet in the cement at the Chinese theater, you know, for the premiere of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I kept those boots, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. They were just like the mock-up ones that I
Yeah.
I kept the jacket from that too, actually.
You have a jacket?
I wear jackets sometimes, Johnny. I did. Because it's the one from the film.
Oh.
So we just.
I think I kept my Doc Martin boots that I wore from the movie. I think I had those as well too.
I kept another pair of your shoes.
Yeah, you kept a lot more. I kept a lot more than that too, man.
Hi, given the rise of the internet and all that, have you had a chance to actually watch the Sentai shows your stuff came from? And if so, would you like them to do an American version of, say, 20 years after?
Yeah, I watched those shows are really creepy actually. I mean, have you noticed that? They're way different than our shows.
Yeah, I was talking about it earlier, but that faucet monster that I mentioned, I told some of the other guys, but it like started peeing on the Rangers.
Oh yeah,
the Sentai episode.
Yeah, too bizarre.
Yeah. There's one episode where the Power Rangers were crucified. Yeah, no, I'm kidding you. No, I'm not making that up. They crucified or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow. Dark stuff, man.
Can you imagine the kids doing that? But I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be cool, but maybe not. I don't know.
No, Johnny.
Okay.
No.
I mean, I watched some of it, and some of it's actually on the plane flying over here. There's a guy across the aisle from me, a little in front, and he was watching like Power Rangers. He wasn't coming here though. He had like a DVD, like a bag full of DVDs, and he was like popping in Sentai stuff. And so I was watching it, and I, it was, I don't know what language it was in because I wasn't subtitled. I was just watching the action stuff. I was like, oh, man, race car guy? What? I was like, which one is that one? And I was trying to figure it out. But as I was watching, I was like, I could maybe see why this would be fun to watch, just because of the action.
Well, and I think that I could be wrong about this. I don't know that this was a conscious decision from the Saban people, but I think that also because those take themselves so seriously, but it's also low budget. So when you take yourself that seriously and you look ridiculous, it may not be as cool as the original one. The original one had some kind of purity and a cultural cachet, I think.
Yeah.
In Japan.
It's so huge there. Yeah. It's such, and they even, they do in the anime, like in a lot of the anime and some of the games that I worked on, they have like Sentai Rangers on there, like spoofing them all throughout. So it's so big.
And it's sort of like the way we can take DC and Marvel comics, Spider-Man and Batman and all that. Right. We can take them really seriously, like they're almost mythical.
Yeah.
Power Rangers never took itself seriously because it doesn't seem to work. It's a little more intentionally corny. So.
Yeah, which makes me wonder what they're going to do with them.
Campy is the word, I think.
Campy, actually, yes, thank you, campy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Steve, that's related to the question earlier. How would you like to be written out of the Turbo movie if you had a choice?
I don't know, maybe a little more heroically, probably, Could have went out like, in a blaze of glory, or
like
saving somebody or something like that. But no, just in a hospital bed. Meanwhile, there's like a little troll little guy that has healing powers, and nobody came and brought him to me, I'm just send him my way. What was his name? Legolas or something? What was his name? Legolas? Legos? What was his name? Lego.
Yeah, where'd that way? Why didn't he come help your ass out?
They went and saved him and everything like that. At least he could have done was healed me or something.
He's a troll. You can find him and take him down. He's only about that big. How
that's pretty funny, actually. I did ask, when I came back for space and I had to bust at Morpher, and it almost killed me, but I had asked Koichi and them, I was like, hey, can I die? Can I die in this one? And they're like, no. Like, oh, man. And then Overdrive, when I was meeting with Koichi and he was talking about, you want to come back for a couple episodes, 15th anniversary? And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds cool. Hey, can I die? And he's like, it's Disney now. No.
No one dies at Disney except for mothers.
Yeah. Only in the movies, really. The movies, now it's like they kill them off within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. Bambi's mom, and Cinderella's mom, Snow White's mom.
Have you seen Up?
Oh, don't do that. That's the most depressing movie. The first 15 minutes of that movie made me want to just drink heavily. Bunch of alcoholic 7-year-olds just because they've been watching Up. I need a hard bourbon after that.
So you should watch Power Rangers.
All right, next.
This is a question for all of you. You don't have to answer. Did you ever have a crush on any girl on set or wanted to go out with them?
I thought Amy Jo was cute when I first came on the show.
Yes, when you first came on, did that thing quickly after you saw her at 6 in the morning, day after day after day?
No, it was when she farted so bad. command center.
And she would lay it in, and she would own up to it too.
She would.
Not only tell me that was me, not say, that was me. She'd go, whistle, the chief. Whistle while you fart.
Yeah.
Shattered dreams, shattered childhood dreams.
She would drop some bad ones. I was like, oh.
It's weird, I don't really remember that, but okay.
You don't remember that? Oh man, command center.
Because it could knock your memory out.
I was like asleep in my dressing room.
It knocked you out, yeah. Yeah, I totally. And then she's like, I got one turtling. And then I was like, oh.
I mean, there was a few. There was a time I think where Alon's daughter was on set. She was cute. Remember? No. So a couple of people like answering some of the crew members,
Yeah.
you know, and I think we all probably dated more than our share of extras. Because we were 18. How else are you gonna meet someone?
Yeah, exactly.
You're in a studio for 12 hours a
Working
day.
for 12 hours a day, and nobody else to meet except for the people you work with. So.
Exactly. So it's either going to be a crew member or, you know, and some of those grips were surly. You know? I was dating Dennis for a while. Dennis, you seem like a soft guy. Yeah, you think so? People thought that was funny. They're like, did the key grip? Oh my god.
She sounds tough. Alright, so.
This poor woman's trying to get a question in a wrong letter. Okay, yes, young lady, please go.
This question's for Johnny. You've done a lot of voicing for different characters. Which was your favourite and why?
My favorite?
Leoch!
Man, there's so many that's like, I say this all the time, but it's like choosing my favorite child. It's so hard, you know? But Nero from Devil May Cry 4 would be one of my favorites. And the reason would be because I wasn't, like with some of the shows, like with Bleach, it's already animated and I'm dubbing it, right? So if my character Ichigo is screaming or laughing, I've got to do basically that, you know? So I'm limited to the picture. But with Devil May Cry, it was a script, so I got to make those choices emotionally. And also got to go to Japan to do the mocap for it, which made it even better, you know? So, yeah.
I still haven't been to Japan, I want to go.
No, it's closed now. They closed it.
Oh, they did? I heard that, yeah.
Oh, way there in the back.
What was the audition process like to get on the show?
Oh, on Power Rangers? Actually, it's similar for us. We're in Texas. We had, they did like a cattle call, not just in Texas, but they did cattle calls throughout the U.S. And Steve and I and Karen lived in Texas. And I remember showing up, there's like 1,000 people in line.
More than that.
Yeah, I mean,
there was like 4,000 people there.
There's quite a few. And do you remember, they brought us in first, like it was like 20 at a time, and then they pick a couple of us and then say, all right, you go home. So first it was on looks. And then...
Well, also they were also saying it wasn't 18, gotta go.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That's what they were really doing. They were saying, okay, who's not 8? They bring us out like 20 at a time. They go, okay, who's under 18? Anybody's hand went up, they were automatically gone. And then everybody else got to at least get 20 seconds to show what they could do. Again, they were looking for people that knew how to do gymnastics or hip-hop dancing.
We did, yeah. We had to do... That was also, yeah, that was in the thing. Like, you had to be able to dance or be a gymnast or a martial artist.
When you heard about the audition, like the way they would bring it out, they put the audition, or they put the announcement on the radio.
The radio, I saw it in the paper. I was at the Kung Fu school and my instructor saw the ad and called me over and said, you should go do this.
Yeah. I heard about it on the radio at one of my friend's pizza shops. His dad owned a pizza shop and he was one of the drivers.
Oh, you heard it on the radio?
Yeah, and they said, hey, I just heard about this on the radio. You should go. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, I always wondered, why were they advertising it in Texas?
They were advertising it nationwide.
Oh, I see.
They were not just Texas. They
what happened. All you guys ended
It
up
was like American Idol. They were going through different cities and they were trying to find talent from every city. So they stopped. They went to LA, then they stopped in Dallas, and they stopped in New York. They stopped in Miami. They tried to find. Yeah, they went everywhere trying to find.
And then we had that. The final call was like in California.
Burbank,
yeah, they flew us out, and I had the most people to audition against, man.
Yeah. Well, we all had the same amount of like.
No, I had a lot of half Asians. I was auditioning.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys know Dan Southworth? He became the Quantum Ranger. He actually was auditioning with me for Adam.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did. He auditioned. He tried to audition for the show a few times actually before he caught on.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, mine was different.
Sorry, there's a question for Johnny. Is there or has there ever been a character you wanted to voice act?
A what?
Has there been a
Character that I wanted to voice act? Oh yeah, all of them. Voice acting is a lot of fun, and one of the great things is that I could be basically whatever character, you know. I don't have to just be a half Asian. You know, I could be like a white guy.
You could be Darby Duck.
Yes, I could be, you know, so that, I don't know if, I can't think of anything like, I would have loved to have done like a Spider-Man or something like that. I've auditioned often, but I've only got Spider-Man once for like a motion comic trailer, and that was about it. But, yeah, you know, anything really, you know.
Right over there.
The movie was shot in Australia, right?
The first one.
Yes.
Yeah. So was it all shot out there? So the scenes where you're in Phaedos and those cool rocks with the sea and all, where,
Yeah.
All in Australia. Yeah.
Those cool rocks was actually an old rock quarry, actually. And I think it was...
No. The rock. No, that. The rocks against the waves. Was it Kiama?
Kiama.
That was a rock quarry?
I think it was a rock quarry.
It was on the beach.
Yeah, I think. I could be wrong. By the way you're looking at me, it's approving me.
It was a long time ago.
No, that was all Australia.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, because as a kid, I was probably watching it a few years after it came out, so I was probably too young when it first came out. It just looked like an incredible place. Obviously, in my mind as a child, it's a completely different planet. When you grow up, it's obviously, you learn that it's Australia and you realize that all the pictures of Australian accent.
Yeah.
It just looks like an incredible place to actually go and explore.
It is. It is a really cool place to.
And it's a great way to avoid the union too.
You know, actually, him shooting there opened the doors for them to do films there. So that actually, the first Power Ranger movie made it possible for like.
Yeah, but
they just built the brand new studios there, all the sound stages there at the fairgrounds.
They were brand new. In fact, they were barely even sound stages at that point. They still, for the Power Ranger movie, there's an old fairgrounds there that they used this giant, huge, almost warehouse that was on it as the main sound stage for Power Rangers. And they were still soundproofing it and stuff like that when we were moving in. It was kind of like a test case, I think. So. Next!
Was it ever weird when you were shooting Power Rangers when you passed your doubles? So it's like, oh, hey, that's me, but that's not me. Was that ever weird?
Past our
stunt doubles. No, but it always make you jump twice when what's his name would take off the helmet, and when the Pink Ranger would take off her helmet, it's a dude. It was who was it? It was
Eugene?
It was Eugene. And Eugene, he would stand so diminutively. So he was like very
he knew that they are good physical actors.
They're really good physical actors. He would make it even more girly. She'd be like, you know, I don't know who the stunt double is with the Pink Ranger, but she's pretty. Oh my God, Eugene!
But you know, a lot of times though, to be honest, like you know, they were filming what we call second unit, and we were filming you know with the first unit all the time, and so a lot of
the helmet had stuff in it.
Yeah, anytime the helmets were on, that you know was the stunt guys, and you know they were filming at the same time that we were filming, so we never really got to actually watch a lot of their action.
Yeah. The only time I felt like anything slightly like that was with our stand-ins on the movie.
Oh yeah, our stand-ins. Yeah.
And then they shot like some of the long exteriors of them walking and stuff with the stand-ins. And I always thought my guy walked funny, you know?
I'm still friends with that guy. I still talk to him all the time. Peter, he walked kind of funny. I still talk to him all the time, man. He's a funny guy, man. Yeah, we hung. stand-in, like became like one of my best friends in Australia, and we hung out all the time. And then to this day, I still talk to him on Facebook and stuff. It's kind of funny.
That's pretty cool.
Why you call me Dingo Boy? I don't like it.
Yeah, of course.
Yo!
Yeah, just what was your favorite seasons to work on?
What was our favorite seasons to work on?
Mine were Mighty Morphin and Zeo. And the movie. And first couple of episodes of Turbo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed all of it, really. Each was I had like different life-changing moments for each one of them. It was like a progression. But I had a lot more fun, I think, as far as acting-wise, doing Wild West Rangers was a fun episode. I did enjoy Overdrive only because I took the script that I did say it was cheesy. I said I got in big trouble for saying that. They're like, don't call it cheesy. I'm like, I got in trouble for saying the script was cheesy.
When we used to say that stuff all the time. We used to always say that on part. I literally said a script on fire.
No, I said it in public, like this.
Oh, like this?
And then, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I'm probably never going to be back. But, and I totally changed my lines. Like this script, all the stuff that I was supposed to say, I changed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, just so you guys know, you can do this occasionally on a motion picture, but changing it for a TV show, it's already been approved by your producers and broadcast standards and practices and the network. So Johnny just screwed up. He probably got 5 or 6 people fired.
No, I mean, it was like a lot of really dumb stuff. And they wanted me to be all, whatever, and weird.
They wanted you to be like, what?
It was it didn't feel like Adam to me, and then I was like, well, it's Adam 13 years later, so I just changed things. Right. And then one of the other actors was like, you're gonna read your lines like that? I was like, this is how I would say it. He was like, really? This is Power Rangers, though. I was like, okay.
What does that mean?
That I needed to be like, come on, Alpha!
Come on,
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like the people who were writing the later episodes had no idea of what the early episodes were about.
Oh man,
the characters were.
No.
Yeah. One thing I will say about Power Rangers is that I'm shocked how much they don't care about. I don't want to say don't care, but it doesn't seem like they take as much care of the sort of Bible of the show, everyone talks about legacy of Power Rangers and stuff like that. It's not like Marvel. Marvel and DC, they're really good at that with their superheroes. They develop them, they stay with the world, and Power Rangers doesn't seem to have that feeling of legacy, I think. They assume that because they're recasting it every year, that they're going to get a new audience every year. So I don't feel like there's a concerted effort to keep that continuity.
Yeah. No, it's like when I came back in space, my morpher was broken. And so I was like, okay, because it's broken in the last time, that makes sense. Overdrive, it's fine.
Oh, well, there you go.
And the guy's like, I fixed it. Well, I fixed it. Whatever the guy's name was. But, yeah.
Hi, given you guys did the season 3 Mighty Morphin opener, Friend in Need, the crossover with Mass Rider, would you have liked to have done another crossover with the likes of, say, Beetleborgs or VR Troopers?
Or the Ninja Turtles?
I think technically Mass Rider was a spin-off. I don't think it was a crossover.
The first season was.
I think it was considered a spin-off, actually.
The Rangers went to Ignite.
What?
The Rangers went to Ignite to help out Mass Rider.
I should know this. I was in both shows. I need to read the full script once in a while, don't I?
I think they should bring the Master Rider back.
I think they should bring VR Troopers back too.
I want to see Sweet Valley High back.
Yeah, me too.
The one person that wants
if I had a crush on set, the Sweet Valley High twins who are on the set next to us.
Oh, that's right.
That was my crush.
ADR section, start giving them direction because they didn't know anybody. So we're like, okay, I want to be more angry in this one. Anyway.
What was the highlight of your career as Power Rangers?
So what was that?
What was the highlight of your career as Power Rangers?
The highlight?
This right here. This woman right here.
Highlights. No, I think the day that we got hired, you know, like when
Yeah,
Johnny was talking about it the other day, when they came in, because we were like went through this long audition process. Even though it was over just a span of a few days, we went through a lot in order to keep getting whittled down to the final 3. And then when they told us that, you know, they narrowed it down to 3 finalists. After they picked me, Johnny, and Karen, we're like, yes, yes, and then they go, so now you guys are coming back tomorrow so you can audition against the guys that we've chosen from California. I'm like, God, is this ever gonna end? And then for whatever reason, we never ended up auditioning against them, remember? Because we were just like, hey, you know, can we at least meet the Power Rangers even if we don't get the gig?
Yeah,
so we can
yeah,
just say, you know, we can just say that we were part of it, and they're like, well, hold on a little bit. And then they went away and disappeared for like an hour, and then they came back and they're like, you're not going to meet the Power Rangers because you are the new Power Rangers. And then we were just like, yeah, like screaming, jumping up and down and stuff like that. So that was pretty funny. It's a pretty memorable moment.
But everything happened so fast. There's one moment that I do remember that hit me. I totally forgot that until when you started talking about the other day. But they're like, I mean, I always wanted to be like an action star. Like I wanted to be like Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan. I was just, you know, I just wanted to do action on film or whatever. And so getting the role was like that, like I had made it, but it didn't really sink in because we did so much in the beginning, the first few weeks, that it was like every day was like either rehearsal or fittings, or it was just nonstop, you know? And, you know, there was just a moment after like maybe a week and a half or something that we were shooting at Castaic, rollerblades or whatever, and I was by myself and there was dew on the grass, the sun was coming up, there's set lights, I'm all by myself trying to figure out how to rollerblade, and then it just hit me. I was like, whoa, this is it. I'm doing what I wanted to do. I've made it, you know? It was like, it just hit me at that moment when I was by myself and it just sank in. I was like, wow, yeah.
Wow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have run out of time again. So put your hands together and say thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
And now I'd like to give the stage back to we're never getting off the stage now, and to Jason as well. Please stick around, the auction is coming up in a few seconds' time.
Yeah, Jason's going to stay on the stage for whatever's next. Enjoy.
They didn't give me a room, I have to stay here. I got nowhere else to go. Can I borrow some money from anyone?